Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brice Duke, and I'm going to be making this instructional video on how to use the website NearPod.com. For those of you that don't know, NearPod is a website that allows you to make interactive presentations that take the form of a PowerPoint-like presentation, but you're allowed to insert different kinds of interactive materials inside of it, like audio, video, as well as certain kinds of activities and games that allow your students to be more engaged at all different levels, whether it be primary elementary school all the way up to high school and maybe even college as well, depending on what form you want to use it in. So to get started, I'm going to start here on my home page. Let me go up and type this into the address bar. Excuse all the tabs that I have open. So setting up an account is really easy. It takes 2 or 3 clicks and an email verification, but I'm going to go ahead and go here to My NearPod. And it'll say create your own lesson. I already have a lesson set up here to show you guys. So this is what it's going to look like here at the beginning, and you can put a lesson title in here. So let's make this instructional video. And the first slide you'll have open is add slide. So I'm going to click on this, and you have 3 different options here. You have add content, add web content, or add activity. So we're going to focus on the add content and add activity. The add web content is a premium feature for the paid version. We're just going to use the free version for right now. So click on add content first. So you have several different features here that you can use. You have slide, NearPod 3D, simulation, field trip. These 3 right here in the middle are more for like VR headsets, and depending on what kind of school you're at, you may have those assets available to you, but other times you may not. Also, you have things like BBC videos if you want to have some kind of instructional video from a more reputable source than YouTube. I'm not sure what Sway is actually. Slideshow, video, audio, PDF viewer, and even a live Twitter stream. So especially if you're doing like a high school lesson, you would have this live Twitter stream in here. For instance, if you were doing a NearPod lesson on the Trump presidency, we all know he's very active on Twitter, you can actually include his live Twitter stream to see him tweet as you go through the lesson. It may even change while you're doing it. So this gives you a nice little insight into more current events. But for our purposes here, we're going to go with the slide option. So the slide option should look pretty familiar to you once you get here. This is basically just what a standard PowerPoint presentation is going to look like. So you have your different themes over here on the right. You can have all these different colors, different fonts, things like that. So for our purposes here, let's go with this blue. I like the blue color. So with this, you're going to be able to add your title, and the current layout of it right here is the title plus 1 element. If you want to add 1 element to this, you can upload files from your own computer, and you can also insert text, video, images, or even a GIF. But let's say for this, we want to include text and a picture. So you're going to come in here to this layout. You have 1 element, so that's if you just want to have 1 thing on it. Title plus 1 element, which is the way it's set up now. Title plus 2 elements or 4 elements. So let's do title plus 2 elements. Type in your title, instructional video. So for this, we're going to put our text on the left. So I'm going to insert text here and say, this video is to teach how to use NearPod.com. So the only issue with this is that now you have to have separate elements for each different part that you want to put in here. So you can't have text and video in the same element. So that's why we're going to put 2 in here. So we're going to choose a image. You can also look up an image on Google search if you don't have it in there. So let's just look up University of West Georgia, UWG Wolves. Let's save that. Boom, there it is. So you can search that with just about anything. It's really easy to find anything you want if you're using it on the Google Safe search feature, as long as you're searching academic things on here. You can change the zoom, transparency. You can also throw this image away if you want. You can include audio. You also have a preview feature here to see what the slide would look like. So to move on, we're finished with that slide. So we're going to save and exit. Now let's add slide number 2. So now that we've done this, let's look at some activities that you can include. You have time to climb, which is a collaborative activity that your students can do together while they do this during a lecture. Open-ended questions where they all submit something and you can look them up. Matching pairs for younger students so they can match different concepts together. Just a small, short little quiz. You can draw things if you have a tablet. Collaborate, where students can put all their ideas down and you can watch them develop in real time. You can ask a poll, which was probably my favorite feature of this and what I've done previously, fill in the blank questions and also a memory test. So let's include this poll here. So you can ask any kind of a question. So let's say, where is the University of West Georgia? And you have multiple options. You can say Carrollton, GA, or Atlanta, GA. And that's finished. So you save that. And now the next time when it pops up, when your students are going through it, you can click on this. And in the student view anyway, they'll be able to choose one of these options and you'll get real-time results from it. It's a really cool feature. I use this later on whenever I did my own presentation. So it's a really straightforward thing. You keep on working through this. You can do each of these individual. You can do each slide. You can include different things, different activities, videos, images, different backgrounds. It really walks you right through it. It's not hard to pick up at all. And then you can also choose, I think the best feature of this is you can choose to do it live, where you control the PowerPoint in front of everyone when everyone has their own computers and you click the buttons, you make them move. Or you can do a student-led one where they control it if they want to do it on their own, do it for homework, something like that. But either way, you still get those poll results, the fill-in-the-blank questions, all of that kind of stuff. So to show this more in action, let me show you one that I made from this past semester over Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal. So we're going to do this as a student-paced lesson because I don't have anyone else to join it. Never mind, no, we won't. Let me just preview it for you. Wait a second to load. This is Franklin Delano Roosevelt's plan to end the Great Depression. So I included a YouTube video that I just straight embedded, which is an Uptown Funk parody about the New Deal. It's a really fun video for high schoolers especially. I did this in a 10th grade class. You put your essential question on here. So that was just the title and text down here. Talk about the election in 1932. So just from that little bit, you can ask a poll question of, do you think that the election was close or a landslide for Roosevelt over Hoover? So if they were paying attention, they know that it wasn't close. You can submit that, and then this kind of shows them whether their answer was right or not, that Roosevelt ran away with this election in 1932. Keep on flipping through. You talk about the three major relief, recovery, reform parts of the New Deal. This is all just different text. I included a picture here of the different agencies from the New Deal, and then went through each of those three R's individually, and then finally asked a final poll question, which was kind of open-ended. There wasn't really a right or wrong answer, but since I saw these live individually and I was doing this in the middle of a class, each of them chose a different thing. I got to see their answers, and then I asked them later, once I saw their answers, pick certain ones out and say, hey, so-and-so, why did you feel like recovery was the best choice? So I'm really excited to be able to use this on my own whenever I get into the classroom again this semester. I think it's going to be really interesting to do more engaging things rather than just walk around a room and lecture on a PowerPoint when you're not really getting all that engagement that you really want. So I think that NearPod is a great example of a way that you can engage students as well as giving them the information that they need. And I really hope that you guys learned something from this, and I'm excited to use this in my own classroom.